All right. Welcome to another edition of Extra Connections. I'm your host, James Lott Jr. here on my network, JLJ Media. We have over 35 shows you can choose from. Go ahead and check them out. Be kind, say hi, do some stuff. We are here. I like to connect you with people, places, things, and ideas. To another. Let's do that. Okay, here we go. I like to connect you with people, places, things, and ideas. And this person is doing some amazing work fashionably. Yes, we like that. And we're going to talk to him because I love hearing these kind of stories. He has, he's in Macy's and Men's Warehouse. He's been around for a long time. He has a line of clothes that looks so good. I mean, I think he's probably wearing one of his suits now, aren't you? It looks
I am.
I love the colors, love the ties, love everything. It's the Tayion Collection. And I get to talk to actually the founder, CEO, the mastermind, the mind behind all of this, Montee Tayion Holland. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you so much for your gracious introduction. I appreciate it.
Well, I mean, I know about, I was reading your bio and stuff. And back in 2003, I think I was at the same magic show you were in Las Vegas.
Wow.
What's so funny is when I first got into retail, I became a buyer for some of our men's. I did it for a little bit. I had all kinds of jobs. You live long enough, you try everything. And I was in San Francisco at a place called Headline. It's not there anymore. But the guy goes, we're gonna go to Las Vegas for the magic show. I'm like,
yeah,
like a magic show, like, hello, ding, magic. I had no idea, right? And I just know for clothes, it's called, okay, and for accessories, because it's a fun experience actually going there, and you have to watch yourself too. Like, that was on a budget. I was like, I'm gonna get those, I want these, I want that, whatever. So you mentioned how you went to a Las Vegas magic show in 2003. They kind of changed their trajectory, didn't it?
100%. What happened was I had gone to the show 2 times before that. And as you know, the show is held every 6 months. Yeah. So for a year, I went and just kind of did my Marine Corps reconnaissance. I went with a buddy of mine who owned a store. And as I walked around and I saw the manufacturers showing product, I saw the buyers buying product. And more importantly, I got to see how stores were displaying product and how they were trying to forecast what was coming 6 months down the road, because they do it a season ahead. So I'm looking at this the first year and I'm like, oh, okay. And at the time I was working for Pfizer Pharmaceuticals. So I was a sales rep. I had asked blue little pill. I was one of the in America with that little blue magic pill. And so I said, I'm going to come back to this show again. 6 months later, I came back. I walked it again and I said, you know what? I could do this. And without any training, without any real knowledge of the business, I decided to take some money that I had and step out there on faith and get the smallest booth available, the 10 by 10 soft cloth booth. And on my third shot, I had a small little booth right down the hall from where Steve Harvey had his booth. And if you remember, he had a big booth with as many as I have in here. He had an upstairs in it. He was ready to show from there, a lot of people, models, and I didn't know how I was going to compete. But, as the big design in the sky would have it, we did all right.
Was that the message, though, the lesson and the message that sometimes you don't need to go big to get attention? You don't need 100%. To go broad to get somebody to look at your stuff. I mean, you got to start somewhere.
You have to. And that's great advice. I think that, you have to start. You have to start. And I know it sounds like a simple thing, but we can talk it to death. It's almost like, you see a young person, you say, man, you have a lot of potential. Well, I also tell them potential is great, but it's nothing until you do something with it. It's just something you haven't done yet. So until we start, it's just a concept. So get started.
See, Montee, you're saying, I've had people on the show and people I become friends with, like my friend Deborah Hubbard, who has Black Don't Crack. She started out in a little tiny space at Fox Hills Mall. I call it Fox Hills Mall. I know it's Westfield, Culver City, whatever. It's Fox Hills Mall to me. A little small place, not even in a store. She wasn't even in one of the stores. She was in a kiosk. Yeah. And now she's huge. I think it's just that's the lesson, is that she started with the concept, felt strong about it. I figured you're the same. You had a concept. You're like, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to try it out and see what happens. And that's probably why you are where you are.
So the funny thing about that, like you said, felt strong about it. I'm still as passionate today as I was when I first started this. Now, see, people think that I started it when I went to that magic show. But what really happened was when I first went to Asia in the Marine Corps, 87 is when I really technically started, when I was over in Okinawa, Mount Fuji, Tokyo, Korea, and I was walking up and down those streets, going into these little pop-up shops, and I would make shirts for myself. I would make jackets, I would make pants. I didn't know I was designing. I just knew I had something in my head and I wanted to bring it to life. And, a lot of people just thought I had just really cool wardrobe, but I was just bringing things to life that were in my head. And when I got back, people were responding to it. So I then, when I got out of the Marine Corps, went to college, went back to graduate school, guys would say, well, man, where'd you get that? That's nice. How do I get it? I would use my contacts from overseas, make them custom pieces. And it was just kind of a hobby. And, I always wanted to turn it into a business, but I never knew how to do it. And after, teaching high school, going to corporate America, working for Pfizer, I started to learn more about business and bigger dollars. And I said, well, let me see if I could turn my hobby into a business. And that's what took place.
First of all, thank you for your service. And Ron, thank you for that.
My pleasure.
I mean, so okay, before you went into Marines or anything, were you also, when you were a kid, were you into fashion? I'm assuming we're around the same generation, possibly.
So around the same generation, but here's the thing. I was, you say, well, I'm into fashion. About as much as I could have been into fashion. You want to talk about growing up, there's the ghetto, there's the hood. I was in the ghetto. A place where, single mom, 4 kids, I'm the only boy. And, I was a boy. I was a little, knucklehead, athletic kid. Knew that I had this passion for things that looked nice because I would see my mom, she would dress nice. I would see my coaches and they would be leaving other jobs to come and coach us. They had suits and ties and cufflinks on. And I knew that I was drawn to it. I just didn't know what I wanted to do with it. So I thought that, if I got a job being a teacher, I could wear suits and ties and help young people. I thought that was that was Shangri-La. That was the best thing ever. And it is because I love young people. But I just knew when I dug deeper, I knew that fashion was, I would go to sleep, I would dream about it, I would see these patterns and I would see these styles in my head. I would look at old movies. My mom thought I was crazy. I would want to see the old Motown movies and look at the Four Tops and Spinners and Temptations.
Oh, the Alpha, yes.
But I wanted to see what they had on and I could critique it. I could look at, the 1920s, 30s, the Renaissance era, and say, man, that was a hot suit as a kid. It just stuck with me. And that's actually my inspiration, where the Renaissance man meets the new millennium man, and you mesh it with that Motown flavor. And that's kind of where I got it. And once I realized that was my passion and it just never left, I wanted to see if I could monetize it.
That's amazing. No, you're right.
Sew or draw.
Okay. Okay. No, but you're right. You're right. You look at old films or old footage when I say we as a society would dress up to go to the store, dress up to go outside. That was men and women, and they went out. They went out to a bar or a club or a restaurant. The men look sharp. The ladies look beautiful. We're talking, square pocket squares and hats, and I like that. I like that.
The whole deal. So think about this. Like to your point. Think even before the era you're talking about, where you can actually remember that. But even before that, years before that, a guy would go to work in a suit. He would come home, take that suit off, put another suit on to go out to his extracurricular activities. If you think back to an old baseball game, think about an old baseball game, 20s, 30s, Babe Ruth era. Look in the crowd. All those guys have on suits, many of which were 3-piece and a hat at the game. So, I always tell people this, it will never, ever go out of style. I don't care what comes in, what fad or trend comes into style. Being clean, being well-dressed, being tailored will never go out of style, especially to these young men. I say, man, listen, there's a lot of trends, a lot of cool things out there, and I'm not adverse to any of them. But I tell you what, put a cool jacket on and watch the response you get and watch how you're treated.
It's true. So my favorite picture of my grandpa Bob was from the 60s, and I posted it once on Instagram, and all the young black men were like, he was something like he had a cigar in his hand, the ring that I have the ring,
Yeah.
now, I have the ring. But he had a cute, three-piece suit on that was colorful, and just because our skin color, we could do that. All that stuff, and a tie. It was just, I guess, my favorite pictures of him. Also, I like seeing positive images of black men. We need more of that. And you're right. Put on a good jacket. Put on a good,
Yeah.
I love that. I think you're right. The young boys I got a lecture from them going, where is that from? How long ago was it? I'm like, it's the 60s. But the point is, follow his example. That's the point. Look good.
And to that point, look good, feel good, you are good. You behave a little differently, you move a little differently, you just feel good. A bygone era where men held their heads high, you're confident, and it just speaks volumes before you open your mouth.
It does. No, it does. Okay, I have to ask you, clothing. The clothing business. It's like restaurant business. It's like, a lot of things. I mean, I'm in Hollywood. I start my own channel. It's like this, like I'm starting your own channel. Like it's music. It's like music. Like there's so much of it. And you said you went out there and started doing it. I mean, was there any trepidation? I mean, at all? I mean, like just to get into this?
You know what? It was almost a good thing that I was so ignorant to the gravity of what I was taking on. There's thousands and thousands of people who've gone to, all types of training, who have all these big jobs and have not gotten even close to where I am. So I don't say, what I said earlier about not being able to draw or being trained and being able to sketch and sew lightly, because I know that I'm truly blessed. And I know that you walk your own walk and everybody has to walk their own, path. But there's so many lines. There's so many people who've been doing it for so many years. I'm almost glad that I didn't know exactly what I was getting into, but I walked by faith. It was on my heart. I had a job that people thought I was absolutely crazy. My boss looked at me like, are you kidding? I was number 1 or 2 in the country with Viagra. I was in the top 4 or 5 with Zithromax, Lipitor, and Norvasc, all billion-dollar drugs. I was doing great, but it was just on my heart. And I went to that show, that 10 by 10 booth in 3 days, and we sold almost $1 million. I didn't deliver any of it. Don't get it twisted. I didn't deliver any of it. But I knew that in 3 days, you can write $1 million. Oh, I'm going to do it.
Right.
And I walked away maybe a little bit prematurely from Pfizer, but
right.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
But by the way, I understand your thing. I left a high-paying job in San Francisco, same reason. I said I got to do what a calling happened. I feel like for you, it's the same thing. A calling came to you. So it was on your heart, but I feel the same way. It was like I'm being called to do this.
100%.
So I got to see it through. I got to see it through at least. And I always see all those things. Not all money's good money. I mean, all things my grandma always say. And it was some good money I was making. I mean, it wasn't. It was great. But now the money I make now, and I'm sure you feel the same way, it means more to me.
That's right. That's right. And I always tell people, I know these sound like, old school sayings.
Yeah, I know. I have a million of them. I know.
But when you're doing something that you truly love and are passionate about, it's the last day you're working your life. I agree. It makes you happy. It's your happy place. And we all need to strive to be in our happy place.
Oh, let me ask you a question. This just came up. I mean, I have my thing of questions, but I said this came up just talking to you. I never asked this question of any fashion person before, any designer before. When you're out and about, whether it's an event or a dinner or lunch, or do you look at people's suits and critique them in your brain? Do you look at them or get ideas, or are you able to turn it off?
I'm not. I can't turn it off. I'm not gonna turn it off. Now, here's the thing. I don't look at them and judge and or hate, but I do look and critique. I can tell when a person, the different levels. I can tell when a guy really tried and maybe missed on a couple of things. I can tell when a guy really knows what he's doing. Then I can tell when a guy just, he doesn't care. He just wants to put something on and keep it moving. And I look at guys and I say, oh, wow. But I tell you what, there's a lot of guys that are good at this, that know how to put it together and get the tie right and trim it up and make it look right. And it's not even so much the quality of the suit It's not so much the styling, but if you get a garment and you can get it to fit properly, get it tailored properly, you're off to a wonderful start. And those are the things that I look for, you know.
Yeah.
So
I just wonder, I never asked anybody, I'm saying like for me, I see things like, I can turn it off for a second, or I can't turn it off. I'm still kind of looking. Again, not like the shade or anything, just kind of like I'm looking at it, because I can talk about what I do every day, all day long. I'm sure you can talk about fashion and suits all day, every day, all along. I mean, you just
yeah.
can. You just can. I wore at the 2018 Daytime Emmys, I found the perfect suit apparel. I had no idea it was perfect, but it fits. Got to fit.
There
And
you
it was
go.
a purple velvet suit.
Oh, wow.
And I wore it, and it got me so much attention. I went viral. I took a couple pictures with some famous stars that they all want to be next to my suit. They love the color of the suit. So I'm telling you, so Montee is right. I totally agree with that. So, and I felt good in it.
Yes.
Correctly. And it just and my skin color just was popping. It was just like, yeah, and it really worked. And it got me a lot of interviews I was going to get that day because of the suit. So you're right. The right suit can actually give you some good stuff.
So think about what you just said. You found a garment that fit you well, that complemented your skin tone. And I can imagine how many compliments you got that night. It was coming from everywhere. So it was one of those nights where you felt like you were in a bubble, right? Everybody was looking, all eyes were on you. You were the fish in the beautiful fish in the bowl, and it felt good. So we all should strive for that, because we all get our 15 minutes, but it's okay to get, a little bit more than 15 minutes and have some pieces in your closet that some go-to pieces that you put it on and you're in the building. I always call it top 5 dead or alive. If you're in the room, I don't care who's in the room. I want to be top 5 dead or alive. I don't care who it is. I want to be top 5 dead or alive. And then
I believe it though. I believe you
top
are.
3, you or me. That's it.
Yeah, I can tell when you go into the room, they don't forget who you are. Trust me.
That's the plan.
A little bit. I'm the same way. I come in full James Lott Jr. and I just come on in. But I'm sure you too. I'm sure you're full on there too. Okay, I have to ask this question because I'm one of those guys. I'm a big and tall guy. Do your suits fit guys like me who are over 6 feet, maybe even over 250, 60 pounds?
For sure. I mean, I'm 6'3",
okay.
40. So with a 37.5-inch reach. So obviously my nephew's 6'9" and my arms are as long as his. So yes, we make suits. They are for basically our body style, meaning broader shoulders. So I have a little back, bigger chest, bigger hips, bigger thighs. I give us room in the rise, which is the crotch area, to have more room. But with all that, I still give you enough contour to make it look nice and modern. It's not a big baggy suit. It's not a big box. But even for a big guy, I can make it look contoured on you. And it's designed that way. So a broader, bigger crossback in the shoulder, bigger chest to accommodate.
Yes.
Bigger hip and thigh to accommodate our thighs and hips. Then obviously the rise to give us comfort in the crotch area. And the knee area, we have a nicer, bigger knee. So I don't have a slim, tight bottom on my suit, but I don't have a big wide bottom. I call it more of a stovepipe. So it still looks sleek, classic. It looks like the guys who wore it in the 20s and 30s. Okay. Not as, but the tailor.
Yeah, that's what you mean. That's right. That's very cool. I have to ask, I'm like, some of us are, we're not 5'8" and 150 pounds,
Oh yeah. And if I can't fit a guy, I can always make it for him as well, because I have a custom division that we do as well. But when I say can't make it, I mean, we make up to size 60. That's
that's a big end. You can do that then. I'm curious, guys. I mean, I love good suits, and sometimes they're hard to find. Either I'll find them that I have broad shoulders. As you can say, I have broad shoulders. A lot of times I can't get this part together, but the pants are fine, or the pants are not right, and the top is right. It's always one or the other. The arm is too short, because I have long arms for some reason. My brother and I both have these long wingspans kind of thing going on, but it's really weird. It's hard to sometimes find suits. I'm telling you, that's great. You guys have the variety to do that. That's good. And we do that too. I know you're a big guy too. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
So when people ask you about your suits, why should they actually purchase a Tayion Collection original? Why should they? What do you say to them?
Well, it depends on who's asking, when they ask and so on. But I can tell you a few things why it's different. Our suit is different because, like I said, I have a couple of little taglines where the Renaissance man meets the new millennial man. So you can kind of get an idea of the type of fashion elements we have within the suit. But here's another one, where the custom suit meets the ready-to-wear suit. And I don't think these stores, big box or specialty stores, were used to what I put into a suit. What do I mean by that? We give you some of the custom characteristics that you wouldn't typically find in a suit off the rack. God bless all these mega brands and heritage brands. There's a space for that. But they're typically a 2-button, black, blue, brown, gray suit, notch lapel. That's not what I do. That space is already filled. Now, we make a black suit and a blue suit, but we give you a little more trim to it. So my black suit, my clean conservative suit is conservative with a twist. What do I mean? I may give you a double pocket on one side. I may give you a little bit of a slanted pocket. I may give you a top stitch, meaning there's no reason to do, well, for a manufacturer, they say there's no reason to do a tonal top stitch. But what it does is give it a bit more of a classy, more rich type of look. I'll do a contrast lapel hole. You see that contrast lapel hole?
I like it.
Color of this?
I love that.
That's a custom characteristic. I'll give you a vest. You don't have to wear the vest, but guess what? It's another fashion element to give you more for your money. I give you a beautiful lining on the inside.
Like that.
With French facing, piping. I give them, the customer, more than what they would expect from a traditional ready-to-wear suit. So that's the main reason. That's what sets us apart from everybody else. You can tell that I took my time to design it. I took my time to give you a higher level, well put together suit. And then beyond that, you're able to stretch your dollars and teach yourself how to style. And here's what I mean by that. This suit right here is a jacket, vest, pant. But then call this piece A. This piece can tie into piece B and piece C, because guess what? I have a solid blue suit just like this, so I can take the blue suit from vest from there, put it here, this vest, put it there, take this pant, put it with blue. And then I may have another suit that ties back into this. So piece A can tie with piece B, piece C with piece, D, and so on. And we call it the interchangeable collection.
I love that.
Allows for a couple of things. Energy, you get excited about it. It helps you style yourself. It promotes the multiple purchase, and it increases foot traffic. And I don't care how big and how strong you are as a retailer. Every brick and mortar store has the same problem nowadays with foot traffic. You need to get people in the doors. This brand will bring you through the doors, because you want to go back and see, once you go out and get those compliments, what you can tie this piece with. Yeah. Because look at my if you scan the barcode on my hang tag, it takes you right to my page, and you get to see the interchangeable pieces in action. And you'll go back to the store like, I want to get that vest that goes with this because people love this. And I love to put it up.
That's so smart. That's really, it's really smart. That's very smart. I love that.
I call it Garanimals for grown-ups.
Oh my God, it's so funny. It totally is. Oh my God, that's hilarious. It is, but it's so smart. It's so smart, especially nowadays, people trying to watch their money or whatever and actually buy what they really need. This is a great idea. I already see like 4 suits back there I like already behind you. I like that, cool. I like that, I like all those. I like those already. That's, oh my God, so smart. So you got yourself into some big box places. Speaking of brick and mortar, you're at Macy's and Men's Warehouse, 2 places that are known for suits. Yes. How does that feel to get into some place like Macy's, for example? Macy's is, talk about heritage and legacy and all those. I'm friends from New York. Macy's was a big deal.
It's
always.
The largest big box store in the world in terms of clothing.
Yeah.
And you say, how do I feel? It's a very surreal feeling first. But even to take that further, because of my partnerships, my licensing deals, I'm with Peerless. Peerless Clothing is the largest tailored clothing manufacturer in the world. They have just a few, to name a few: Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, Michael Kors, DKNY, Chaps, and you. So here's the thing. So to be in Macy's is great. And I had already met some people at Macy's by way of a diversity program that I was at very well. but they were talking about putting me online and maybe easing my way into, one or two stores eventually. Well, I partnered with Peerless because they were recruiting me, and finally we did a deal. It's a very strange feeling when you're talking to Macy's. Like, I'm used to talking to stores and having to sell them hard to get them to buy something.
Yeah.
Now I talk to them and they're pretty much probably going to give you an order. And that's amazing to me. It blows me away.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
And the same with Men's Warehouse. It's amazing.
I mean, Men's Warehouse. I've gone to Men's Warehouse over the years many times for suits. I mean, like, that's a place I've gone to because they're known for that. I mean, that's another
they're known for
heritage, legacy, brand name that you can see anywhere. They know what that is.
Well, to their credit, to Macy's and Men's Warehouse's credit, they now understand that the world is upside down. The social climate that we're in now dictates that you address the diversity or the lack thereof, the lack of diversity on their floor. They're well aware of it, and they wanna address that. And they both were very upfront with that. And they're open to listening now and having somebody in the room to address it. So they came to me and said, listen, we want to support you. We want to see what you can do, and if you can get the customers to come in and get excited about this. Because the customer now is a lot more conscious on where he and she spends their money. They're saying, listen, we want to be heard. We spend trillions of dollars annually, and these brands don't necessarily align with our values and align with our true fashion aspirations. My voice and my perspective can speak to that. And they know that now because they have numbers behind it now, because we've sold very well our first season, and they're very pleasantly surprised. But I wasn't. I knew it was hot when I started it.
Exactly. Hello. Well, you're like, okay.
Yeah. So it's good, and I'm happy that they're stepping up to the plate. Peerless is stepping up with supporting it, and my other licensees, my shirt license, my tie license, my sportswear license, the stores themselves, and I'm excited about what we have, hitting the market here in the next couple of seasons.
I'm excited for you too, actually. And what is T Fusion?
T Fusion. So, like I told you, I come from the hood. So clearly we weren't able to spend a lot of money on our fashion. We would make do with what we had and try to put it together the best way we could. So I thought it made perfect sense, especially since other brands were knocking off my Tayion brand anyway, and even selling it as that. Hey, this is our Tayion, just a lot cheaper. So I decided that makes sense. If they're gonna knock me off, I should knock myself off. Mm-hmm. Make a line in less or more affordable fabrics with the same type of DNA. Okay. And that's exactly what it is. Similar looks, similar feel, similar fit, but more affordable fabrics. So where Tayion is a wool majority product, wool and silks and cashmere blends, T Fusion is more synthetic, but it still has a beautiful look, beautiful feel, but it's for the more price conscious customer.
Okay. You're smart. I mean, you're right. I mean,
that's the plan. Yeah.
I mean, no, I mean, seriously. I mean, I think it's one of those things where people, you seem to think big picture. Are you a big picture type of guy? You big picture.
You have to be, and it's simple math. It's not lost on me. There's a lot more people with a little money than there are with a lot of money, and I was certainly one of them for a long, long time. And I said, well, hey, why on earth should this only be for the guy who can afford a $600 suit on up?
Yeah.
Give something to that guy who has $185, $190, $200. These stores exist for a reason. West Coast, Burlington is big. K&G is big, North, West, South. TJ Maxx, all the specialty stores. You can look real good in a $200 suit from T Fusion. Very good.
So where are you located? Where are you based out of?
I'm born and raised Detroit, and this warehouse is about 25 minutes west of Detroit, and it's called Taylor. So my warehouse is in Taylor, and I have 3 offices in New York.
So Tayion has an office in Taylor. Got it. I just want to make sure I got that.
Yeah, we have an office in Taylor.
That's hilarious. I like that. I mean, because Detroit, I mean, we got cars, Motown music. I mean, like Detroit's like, I mean, I was always, you hear other things about Detroit. I like to hear positive stuff. So I'm like, give me something positive about Detroit.
Detroit's a sexy city, man. It's a really sexy city, and it's known. It's a tastemaker city. And once people come here, They realize that. They see it. And, you can't have a city that's not a tastemaker city that has invented the car. The car's all over the world now.
Right.
So you think about that pretty much put its stamp on music that global. So so if you have the cars and you have the music, you clearly have the fashion because they all tied together. It's just, perception is reality in a lot of people's minds. So when they see the news, they think, oh my goodness. I know somebody that just came from LA and they wanted to go to LA and they wanted to go ride down Crenshaw because they heard so much. I'm like, man, are you kidding me?
Right.
Listen, every city has an area that you have to be careful in, of course, but every city has beautiful areas and beautiful people as well.
I'll say right now, I live a few blocks from Crenshaw. Nothing happening right now. It's dead.
Yeah.
Nothing going on over there.
Don't
Don't come to Crenshaw. Nothing going on right now. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
But I love it.
I love LA.
No, LA's great. I mean, but I think I'm glad. It's kind of fun that you have an office in Detroit. I'm glad that you have a warehouse in Detroit. That's very cool. Your hometown, that you're outside of Detroit. Why not? I want to ask you, what does Montee do to relax? Or does
it's funny. I train young people.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know that one of my passions is helping young people. So I train guys, work them out. I have about 65 scholarships to date where I've trained young men, got them to college, and to further their athletic careers and to matriculate with a higher education degree. And I stay with them, I mentor them, and I work with them once they get out of school to help them find employment and work out with them. So that's one of my passions. I relax when I'm working with my young people. But I love movies. When I really want to relax and get my head out of everything stressful, I love a good movie. The bad side to that is I hate a bad movie as much as I love a good one. So when I see something good, it doesn't matter what genre. I love a good movie. But that one, I'm like, man, I could have wrote that movie.
That's hilarious. You're like, I even hate a bad, but that's hilarious. I know I get it. It's like going to a restaurant going, this food was okay. Like everybody said it was the hit, but I'm like, I'm eating it. It just tastes okay. You almost get madder because you're waiting to be like, mouth watering. And it was just like, it's just okay. Okay, well, I just wasted 2 hours of somebody here.
Yeah.
I get you saying. That's so funny. Do you sleep?
Not a lot. Because I have to get up. I have to get up and talk to China, 12 hours difference. I have to talk to Istanbul, 8-hour difference. West Coast. I'm doing this interview, 3 hours different. So, I try to get 4.5 to 5 hours a night. If I can get that, I'm a happy guy. I'm good. So, but I have enough energy for a couple of people, so I'm good.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I'm good.
I love your energy. I just love it. I mean, Montee, I talked to you, Fred. You are amazing, and I really do. You're a great example for all men of all colors, all young men, all the millennials and Gen Zers, but especially men of color, to look and see that this can be possible, whether it's fashion or media or anything else. When you have your call and put your mind to something, it can work, and also to give back. I believe in the village. I believe we're all part of the village. The village lifts each other up. That's what we do. We help the younger people find their place in the world. And so it looks like you're doing that. You're also doing that also. And
you know what I say? What I always say? I always say, man, we have to connect the dots. And if not us, who? We really need to connect the dots. The network is crazy. And like you just said, I tell people, listen, man, if I know this sounds like another little cliche, but
I know, I love them.
You really can. You just have to be passionate, be motivated, highly motivated, and keep going. You only fail when you stop. You can fail your way to the top, to the apex. Just keep moving. Don't stop. And I tell people that, and I'm going to be called everything from a newcomer to this new guy because we're now in Macy's and Men's Warehouse. But I just told you we started this in 1987. Yeah. Think about that. Yeah. The journey, and we have to smell the roses as we're going. We have to enjoy the journey. Because people say, well, what's the mountaintop? There is no mountaintop. I keep rolling. I'm gonna keep on moving. I'm gonna enjoy it, but I'm gonna keep moving and keep rocking and see where this thing's going. And I'm gonna explore the tentacles that this thing allows me to explore and help as many people as I can while I'm doing it. So I'm so passionate about helping people and talking them through avoiding the ultimate hurdles that's going to happen to them if they try to anything that they want to do. There's going to be hurdles, but you just have to be able to get up, scrape your knee off, keep it moving.
That's my message too. It's always that there's always ups and downs, and that's just life. And there are periods when you feel like, why am I doing this? Or there's periods when you're like, you just feel beaten down. But you gotta stick. If you really believe in something, stick with it and continue. And then also, while you're having the high moments, enjoy them.
Enjoy
it. But also still keep thinking. I mean, you're not done. I was like, we're not done. I'm never done.
Never done. You're never done. And then you better surround yourself with positive people that are like-minded and support you. Because I got to tell you, you know, I'm pleasant and I smile and I'm happy and I'll buy drinks and give dap. But I hear the murmurs. I've heard everything from, man, you still doing that? To oh my God, I thought you would have been working at Macy's or Neiman Marcus by now. And I laugh and I tell people right now that I'm in Macy's and they think I'm going to Macy's and I'll be in Macy's soon. They don't know that we actually do the same thing that Ralph Lauren and Calvin Klein does. And I'm hanging right next to Ralph Lauren and they just can't wrap their head around it. But, it's not for everybody to understand. You have to believe in it and you have to keep rocking. You have to keep rocking, I agree with anybody, but because you know it to be true. You can be told no. I could, man, I've had so many no's you wouldn't believe.
Yes.
One time, get a yes. Get one.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll motivate you to keep it moving forever.
I agree with you. That's all we need is sometimes just one yes. Give me that one yes. I'll take it.
Just one.
I'll stress the F out of it. I'll take that yes. I'll take that yes.
And I have more friends now than you can imagine. Everybody they want to give us money. They want to, hey, how can we partner? Let's do this, let's do that. And I just, smile. And you said something earlier, and I heard you. All money's not good money, It's
not.
And you can't, rock with everybody. But you can help as many people as you want, but you have to be judicious on that.
You said something that's very important. I want people to understand this. When you start to get a little bit of fortune and fame, or even before fortune, I have a lot of fame for myself, and people suddenly are on your side. They are suddenly asking you, so what, do you need a partner? Do you need to do this? Can you do this brand? Can you do this? It's very funny you said that. I'm not surprised they're coming to you. You're very charismatic. I'm sure they're coming right to you. You're having success, and you have to be careful and be mindful about which one's a real possibility and which ones aren't.
That's right.
You have to really trim the fat. You got to just go, okay, I just can't. No, not with you guys. Okay, I understand. Great. You guys, yes, let's go this direction and see what's going on. But I see those tentacles. You have to be it's scarily, you have to be scarily careful.
You have to be. But the same way you trust your gut with your business acumen, trust your gut with your discernment of other people. Because I'm happy that this is happening the way it's happening, because I'm of a certain age. I've been around the world several times in the Marine Corps, athletics, and doing other jobs. And I smile and I'm friendly, but I can almost see right through some people when they start talking. I listen very well. 2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason. Listen 2 times more than you speak. And I can hear what they're really trying
I'm the same way, Montee. Trust me. People always like, wow, you're a good judge of character. I said, well, I just listen. I listen and watch. Seriously.
They tell on themselves.
They tell on themselves. They do. It happens. Trust me. People will show you who they are. They will show you. You will hear them. You will see it. You'll see body language, everything. I'm with you.
That's right.
I tell them sometimes it's good just to shut up.
That's it.
Just shut up.
Shut up and listen.
And listen. It's very true. It's very, very true. I believe that. I learned how to shut up later in life. I kept talking when I was younger. I learned how to shut up later in life.
There you go. But it's not too late. It works though.
It works.
It's the time. It's your time now. Yeah.
And he says something as we end this. He says something. It's never too late, folks. I got into this business in my 40s, and I'm very happy I did that. That was 12, 13 years ago. I'm happy to do that. Yeah. In my 50s, still doing things. And I think there's nothing wrong. There's no time. Just like start something and then go with it and just go with it. And if it's a calling or feeling or your stomach, your heart's talking to you, do it. We're both examples of just do it. Just go ahead and try it out. You have nothing to lose. Not really.
That's right. So as a credit to you, for instance, Stacy was telling me about we had 160 plus outlets that were trying to set these interviews up. Your name came up and she said, oh my, you must talk to him. You're going to love him. He's awesome. He's amazing. And you can feel your passion for what you do. That speaks volumes. So, shout out to you for stepping out and doing what you want to do, because I can tell that you're in a happy place, you're in a good place, and that is everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Thank you.
Monetize it. That's just the icing on the cake.
It is. No, it is. No, it is. I mean, it really is. I mean, my bills are paid and everything's taken care of, and I'm very happy. And I know, thank you for saying that. I really do. I love doing this. I love meeting people. I love seeing what people are doing, and I think that your energy just through the screen. I mean, I love it. I love it. And one day I have to wear one of your suits.
Oh man, that's an easy thing. I'm coming to LA here in the next few weeks to visit the Macy's that we're in and the men's warehouse that we're in. So we can do that easy.
Oh my God.
Easy. You see all these suits here, man. That's an easy thing for us.
I see that they're beautiful. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Thank you.
So beautiful. I like to do that. So this is Montee Tayion Holland. He has the Tayion Collection. Tayion.com is one place for sure. But you said you can find it in Macy's, Men's Warehouse. I mean, just go to Tayion.com. As Tayion.com. He also has a YouTube channel, which I'm subscribed to now. And, you're also on, he's also on all social media. So you can just, but I say go to Tayion.com and then it'll take you to all his social media. I'll put some of the links in the bio for you. So you can follow him, buy his suits, get his stuff, follow. Do that. I mean, please. I'll be promoting this out to everybody. So please follow him. But thanks for your time. I mean, I know you're a busy guy, but thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. And thanks for being
present. I appreciate you. And tell your followers, man, please engage. Go to my Instagram, my Facebook. I like to engage. I answer questions. I try to be inspirational and help. And if I can help, I will certainly, try my darndest to provide some information that can get you to the next step. So I'm all about that.
Perfect. And I'm James Lott Jr. You can follow me. We're all James Lott Jr. is sold at James Lott Jr. and all social media platforms. JLJ Media is my online network. Or 35 shows you can choose from. So go ahead and check one of them out. And more like this. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I think it's down here somewhere. I always point the wrong spot. And then we're also on every single audio streaming service. That's from iHeartRadio to Spotify to Apple, Google. Just type in Extra Connections. You'll see his interview and all others on there. If you want to listen to us while you're at the gym, walking the dog, sitting at home, whatever, just put us in your ears and follow and share with anybody who needs to hear this. All the men out there, check this out. We all need a good suit here and there. We should all have one in our closet so we can have one. Please do that. And everyone, please take care.